Hi guys, this is Anupam here. Welcome back to my channel Knowledge for You. So in today's video, we are going to build the HTML version of the registration form. In the previous video, we have set up the environment, we have created the database. So in this video, we are going to create the HTML of registration form. So for that, you need to open up your editor, and before that you also need to create a folder in the XAMPP folder. You need to create a folder under htdocs folder of XAMPP. You may have installed XAMPP in C drive, you may have installed in XAMPP in other drives as well. Wherever you have installed that XAMPP, you just need to go to the XAMPP htdocs under XAMPP htdocs folder, and within that you need to create a folder for registration. So in my case, I have installed it in D drive. I am creating a folder called registration. Now you need to go back to your editor. You need to browse to the open folder option under file menu, and then go to the registration folder and then select folder. Your registration form will be opened. We will have two files for our registration purpose. One will be index.php, which will be the main file, and there will be another file which will be style.css, which is going to be used for styling purpose. Okay, so let's create the first file. I'll name it as index.php, and then I will create another file and I'll save it as style.css. Don't worry about this .php intel folder, as I have installed a plugin called PHP IntelliSense, which will give you the small PHP snippets when you will do the PHP coding. If you haven't installed it, then this .php intel folder will not be created once you are going to create a PHP file. So you need not to worry about that. I have also installed several other plugins for the ease of development, like HTML boilerplate, color picker, and etc. You can easily install any package in Sublime Text by just pressing Ctrl+Shift+P at the same time, and you just need to hit select install package from here, and then the packages will automatically show up from the drop down menu. You can select any one of them. If you type PHP, then you can see there are several PHP plugins are showing up. You can use this PHP unit is for unit testing purpose. PHP code beautifier. There are several plugins available for them. You can use any one of them or all of them, whatever you like, for your development purpose. So yeah, so let's get back to our work here, and first thing what we will do is we will create the HTML version of the form. So as I have told you, I have already installed a plugin, HTML boilerplate. So I just need to select the HTML and I'll hit enter. Automatically the basic structure of the HTML for this project will be created. I will first jump into the title section of it, and I'll name it as registration system using PHP and MySQL. Okay, then what I'll do is, as I am going to style this page using style.css, which is an external style sheet, I just need to link it to my page. So in order to do that, I just need to use the link tag of HTML, and I'll just name my style sheet. then I'll jump to body section and I'll create some divs. I need a header for my page. I'll name the class name as header. I know you guys are already familiar with the div and other things, so I won't go into much deeper into those things, and that is not the topic over here as well. So second thing, I am going to create another div with where my registration form will be, and I will name it as container. So this container, then I want my form to be here, but it is better that you always comment your code. So I am also commenting here. This is the header section. Okay, then this is the body section. Then you can say registration form. Okay, and then I will start my form tag. It is always better if you give a name to your tags. For form, I'll give it a name FRM registration. Let's say registration. Under form, I am going to create some other divs which are going to hold all the input elements. Let's give it a name, input underscore group. Okay, and give it a class, sorry, not name, give it a class input group, and then under that I am going to create my inputs. So I'll first create a full name text box, and then I'll give it a placeholder. So placeholder is something which whenever you want to enter something, it will tells you that exactly what needs to be entered. So it is basically a helper for the user, which tells the user that what needs to be entered into a particular field. Okay, so here I'll give, please enter a name, and then I'll just copy. We have very limited time over here, so I'll just copy. We need 5. Why 5? I'll tell you in mail. If we have 4 fields, then we have actually 3, but because user ID we are not going to enter manually, so we need 3 fields: full name, email, and password. But we need another extra 2 input tags, because one we are going to use for confirming the password, and another is we are going to use it for a submit button, which will submit the form data to the server. So I'll just change over here, email, name, email, then password. I am also going to change the type to password here as well, and I'll change it to password. Okay, then I'll change this type as password as well, and I'll make it as confirm password, and I'll just change the placeholder text to be please confirm password. Okay, then I'll change this from text to submit. I'll give it a name btn register, and we don't need a placeholder, but we should have a value where I'll give it a name register now. Okay, now if we go to the browser, see what to see. So if I type localhost, our folder name registration, and type index.php, I have spelled it wrong. So registration, it should show me. Yes, another thing I forgot, we should give something in our header, user registration. Okay, so once we are done, let us just refresh this page. Yes, this looks pretty ugly. Don't worry, we will make it a good professional looking form. Then in order to stylize it, let us open our style.css and I'll start putting some style inside it. We don't want any kind of spacing within the body of the page, and I'll put the margin 0 as well. Then we will jump into our containers. That first is for header. Header, we want it to be of width 100%, full stretched. Height, let's give it a 70 px height. Okay, and then we want the background color to be, so I want to choose my color, so I'll press Ctrl Shift C to bring up the color palette. This color picker comes because I have already installed a plugin called color picker. You can install it pretty easily, as I have shown you. Just Ctrl Shift P, go to the package control and then just select the install package, then just choose the particular plugin which you want to install, and it will be installed easily and immediately available for your use. So I am going to choose let's say yeah, this color is good, so I'll choose this. I'll make the color as white. Again Ctrl Shift C. Okay, so it's I want the header text to be center aligned, so I'll make it center. I want the header text font to be bold. I also want to change the font family. I'll make it as Arial. Okay, and then I want to give it a padding from top 20 px, say. Okay, and okay, I forgot to give, we need to see it a little bit larger, so we want to give it a font size of 20 px as well. Okay, so if I go back to our browser, see, this is, but the padding is, the text is not properly centered, so vertically, so I will just give it another 10 px. Now it's looking that it is almost centered. Let's leave the header for now, and I'll go to the container class. In this container class, what I want is that we want this, all this form and the form fields to be centered to this page. So in order to do that, I'll give width of this container to be 40%, and I will give a margin left to be auto and margin right to be auto as well. Okay, and now if I just refresh this page, see, it becomes center. I also want to give a margin top of 20 px so that it doesn't stick to the header, the top. Okay, and then refresh the page, it created a padding. Now our container styling is done for now. Let's go to the form, and within the form we have input underscore group. So, and in the input underscore group, what I'm going to do is I want to make the width to be 100%. I also want the padding bottom 20 px. So that's it for now. See, so that is a padding between those divs. Now I'll style the input boxes. I will type equals to text. Also I want to style the password inputs as well. So it is password. Then what I need to do is we need to make the width to be 100%. For this, height to be 30 px. We height to be 30 px. Let's see if I do that, how it will look like. It's looking good, but the placeholders are sticking to the left, so I'll give a padding left of 10 px. I also want the font family inside the text boxes to be, let's do Arial. Okay, so that's it. Now if I do that, now only thing left is styling the submit button. So what I'll do, type submit, and then let's make the width of this button to be 40%. Okay, and then let's put the background color, Ctrl Shift C. Let's choose a background color for this. So we will do it as this. It's fine. And then text align to be center. Sorry, this one. We need to go back to the input group and make this center so that it looks centered as well. The submit button, and then we want color to be white, which is FFFF. We want the font family to be Arial, and we want font weight to be bold, font size to be 16 px. Now let's see how it's looking like. Okay, we just need to give it a bit of height, 30 px. See, yeah. Let's give it a 40 px, and then that's fine. Now we just need to give a border 1 px, solid, and I'll give the same background color. Okay, so now our registration form is done. It's looking almost a professional looking registration form, and that's it for this video. And hope you have liked this video. If you have liked this, then please do subscribe to my channel. It will really give me a boost and inspiration to come up with new videos for you in future. Thanks. Hope, and I will see you in the next video where we are going to do the PHP coding for the registration form. Thanks.